All right, I believe live again on a roll today, knocking out a couple of videos. Shout out to everyone who's been supporting this podcast. This is an episode of the Syncrets To Success podcast, a podcast where I talk about sync licensing, music production, production music, trailer music, plugins that I'm using, and resources that I'm using and offer for sync trailers, music producers. So definitely check out the links in the description for resources that I use and resources that I offer, including a sync licensing bonus sheet that includes 2 free courses to get into sync licensing, and also some other products and services in the sync space. Today, we're going to talk about the new plugin from Zero G called Strike. It is like a rhythmic tension plugin. So I'm not going to delay too much time here. We're going to dive right in with some of the sounds. So I'm going to play this sound right here. So you're immediately hearing like some filtered effects and things like that, some distortion happening. So what we have here, if you're familiar with some of the other Zero G plugins, you have this sort of 4-grid layer here. Then you have this window at the bottom half of the screen of the plugin that gives you some more control over the parameters. So what we have is I can choose between different presets. On each of these, you have up to almost 100, actually over 100, I believe. Different layers you could have. For example, I can have drums, bass. I can have different layers and percussion and vocal. So let's say I want a vocal. I'm going to solo this one here. It sounds like this. You hear, let me turn off some of our effects right now so you hear the sound by itself. So you hear that. I can go between, let's go to bass. And that's the EQ I cranked up there, so you have the low end. I can change the envelope, the attack decay, ADSR, sort of the filter, the type of filter that it's affecting that sound, and you have those similar options on all 4 of these sort of channels up here. In addition to having different octave settings here and different tuning settings, octave and panning settings. So tuning, let's say I want it down like 3 semitones or left to right, 100 left, 100 right. So you have all those options. And of course, my favorite button on all these things is the random button. So if I hit random, let's get this back to default. If I control click on these, I want this to be 0. If I hit random a couple times, this sounds like this. And right now we are only listening to the Xeno Romulus. So different things are happening based on what's happening down the bottom, which we'll get to. Let's go to layer 2. I'm going to solo layer 2. So you can hear the sound design elements happening there. With that layer, let's go to layer 3. This is matrix. Almost like a pulse happening. And then layer 4, malware. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the random on each of these and see what the algorithm puts forward to us. So you hear that it's creating that sort of industrial sounding loop, and it's coming back around. So there are some things happening at the bottom. So at the bottom here, we have different settings. So if I go from the top to the bottom, I can edit effects. So I can add chorus, distortion. You have different types of distortion, tube, transistor. So different effects there. Delay, spatial, you heard some of that thing happen. So those things happening. On the right, filter. So we have different filter settings here on the right. Phases. So So some great sound design elements. Let's go to another random here. I'm just selecting random at random for all these. So in addition to effects, we can also modulate, edit the modulation. So I can have different LFO options here and different envelopes. And you can adjust the different sources for the modulation. So I can say for LFO1, the source will be a volume tune panning for any or all sources. So 2, it can all affect source 4, it can all affect source 1. So you can choose different options, the different type of waves for the LFO there. And then on the envelope side, again, similar options. I can adjust the ADSR for different settings here. Then we have edit movement. So this is sort of like an XY pad. On the left, you have horizontal, vertical, circular for source 1, 2, 3, 4. And on the right, you have resonance and frequency. So sort of filter movement. And again, you have horizontal, vertical filter. So this is a little bit of that. So you can get really industrial with the sounds here, really hone in on like sound design elements. So for example, let's say I want to go to just drums here, malware. And I want to do bass over here. So we'll do. You hear the filters going in and out, almost like a wave, no pun intended. And then last but not least, edit randomize. So you know I love randomized functions. So what you can do here is select all or none of the sources to randomize and hit go. So I'm going to just select all of them in this case. And I'm going to hit go, and it randomizes all the functions up top. And it randomizes the function at the bottom also. So that's a great way to just get into sound designing. My mic's getting a little too hot, but a great way to get into sound designing on this plugin. It's a really great way to get in here and start sound and designing a lot of percussive things, filtered industrial percussion sounds, sound effects, electronic things, and layering that with the stuff you're doing for like hop pop or hip hop or anything like that. So really looking forward to diving more into Strike. Shout out to Zero G for sending this to me to review for you at no charge. Definitely check out Strike and some other products that Zero G has to offer. I do believe they're working on another update to a great plugin, probably my favorite plugin of last year, so stay tuned for that. But that's all I got for you in this video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check the links in the description for some sync bonuses and some other things that I use and offer in the sync space. Be safe and be well, everyone.